There is a specific quality to the stillness of someone who has done the work and is ready. It is different from the stillness of someone who is waiting with no certainty, different from the patient endurance of someone who hopes, but cannot quite bring themselves to know. The stillness you are in right now has a different texture. It is not the braced, breath-held stillness of someone who is afraid to want too much. It is the grounded, quiet, weight-bearing stillness of someone who has done everything that was theirs to do and now simply waits for what they know is coming to complete its journey toward them. You have released what needed to be released. You have healed what was capable of healing in this season. You have held your standard when the settling was available and the holding cost something. You have been patient through the periods that required patience and courageous through the periods that required courage. You have been, in the most genuine sense of the phrase, doing the work, not as performance, not as strategy, but as the honest expression of someone who takes their own life and their own becoming seriously enough to do what it asks of them, even when the asking is difficult. And you are ready, not almost ready, not nearly ready. Ready in the specific, grounded, I have arrived at this threshold fully formed way that only the genuine completion of genuine work produces. The stillness you are standing in right now is not the stillness of waiting to be enough. It is the stillness of already being enough, already having done the preparation, already being positioned to receive what is coming with your full capacity, rather than with the depleted or distracted partial capacity of someone who is not yet ready. Today the universe responds, and it responds in the most generous, the most abundant, the most literally once-in-a-year form it has available. Today is not just a good day. It is the best day. It is the day that everything you have been building toward, in love, in abundance, in the emotional and relational and material dimensions of a life that is being genuinely and fully lived, has been pointing toward as its moment of delivery. Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer is exact today. And before I tell you what that means for you specifically, I want to make sure you feel the full weight of what that sentence actually describes, because the rarity and the magnitude of this alignment deserves to be received at its actual size rather than as background cosmic information. Venus is the planet of love, attraction, beauty, and what we receive in genuine connection. It governs the flow of what comes toward us in the relational and emotional dimensions of life, the quality of what responds to us, the caliber of what we draw into our field, the specific character of what we attract and are attracted to. Venus determines not just whether love arrives, but the quality and the depth of what arrives. Jupiter is the planet of abundance, expansion, and cosmic generosity. It is the force in the astrological chart that takes whatever it touches and makes it larger, more available, more real, more present in the dimensions of actual lived experience. Jupiter does not create things out of nothing. It expands what is already genuine, amplifies what is already true, and delivers what was already on its way with a scale and a completeness that exceeds what ordinary circumstances would produce. When Venus and Jupiter align in exact conjunction, when these two planets occupy the same precise point in the sky simultaneously, they do not simply add their energies together. They multiply. The expansion that Jupiter provides is applied to everything Venus governs, which means the love, the attraction, the genuine connection, the quality of what you receive in relationship. All of it is expanded today beyond what ordinary expectation would allow, beyond what you have been permitting yourself to imagine. And this conjunction is happening in Cancer, the sign of emotional depth, of nurturing, of home and belonging, and the specific quality of love that feels, from the very first moment it arrives, like something you were always supposed to have. Cancer is not the sign of fleeting beauty or temporary good fortune. Cancer is the sign of roots, of what settles in and stays, of what becomes home before you have had time to consciously decide to let it. Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer is the most genuinely favorable transit for love and abundance of the entire year. Not one of the most favorable, the most. There is no alignment in this year's astrological calendar that carries more concentrated, more directed, more specifically personal generosity than what is active today. If this message is landing in your heart at the right moment, there is a link in the description to support this work. Contribute only if it feels right. Every offering helps these messages keep reaching the people who need them. Here is what Jupiter does to everything Venus touches today, and I want to describe this in enough specificity that you can feel it as the concrete. This is actually arriving reality it is. Jupiter takes what is good and makes it bigger than you allowed yourself to expect. A connection that has been growing between you and someone specific, that has been real and felt and quietly acknowledged on both sides, but not yet fully expressed or fully arrived. Jupiter expands that today. Not by adding something artificial to it, but by removing the ceiling you had placed on how large it was allowed to be. By clearing away the careful management of hope that kept the feeling at a safely small size, and letting the actual full-size version of what was always there be present without the containment. A feeling that was growing becomes undeniable today. The Jupiter expansion of Venus means that what could previously be maintained as uncertain, what could be plausibly filed under we'll see, or maybe it's not as significant as it feels, can no longer be maintained as uncertain. The scale of it, amplified by Jupiter's presence, is too large for the comfortable ambiguity to hold. Today the feeling becomes real in a way that is not just felt but known, not just hoped for but confirmed, not just yours but demonstrably, visibly, this person or this situation has confirmed it yours. An opportunity that was promising, that you have been watching take shape in the area of abundance, creative expression, professional life, or material reality, becomes transformative today. Jupiter does not turn a small thing into a medium thing. Jupiter turns a promising thing into the thing that changes the trajectory. The opportunity that arrives or crystallizes or takes its final visible form today is not the incremental improvement on your current situation. It is the opening of the chapter that your current situation was building toward. The scale of Jupiter's expansion means that what arrives today lands with a weight that says, this is not an episode in the current chapter. This is the next chapter beginning. Cancer's specific contribution to what arrives today is the thing that I want to spend time describing, because it is the thing that makes today different not just from ordinary good days, but from other genuinely good cosmic events that arrive with abundance but without permanence. Cancer is the sign of home, of emotional security, of the deep, unconditional, this is where I belong quality of love and connection that does not require effort to sustain because it is built on foundation rather than on momentum. When Jupiter expands Venus in Cancer, what is delivered today is not the exciting, electric, temporary intensity of a Venus transit in a fire sign. It is something warmer, deeper, and more lasting. It settles. It does not arrive and then need to be maintained. It arrives and then belongs. It has the quality of something that was always supposed to be there, finally occupying the space it was always meant to fill. The gift the universe gives today is one with roots. Not roots that need to be planted and tended over years. Roots that are already present in the delivery. What arrives today comes with the specific quality of rightness that only genuinely aligned things carry. Not the excitement of novelty. Not the electricity of the unexpected. The deep, quiet, bone-level recognition of something that fits. Of a connection that feels familiar in the way that genuinely meant things always feel familiar. Not because you have experienced them before, but because some part of you always knew this was what was supposed to arrive. What you receive under this conjunction is not temporary. You will be grateful for it years from now. Not in the wistful, I am glad that happened even though it passed way of good things that come and go. In the ongoing, still present, this has become part of the structure of my life way of things that came and stayed because they were always supposed to. Cancer roots what it delivers. And what Jupiter expands in Cancer today is delivered with those roots already present. The support of those who believe in this work is what keeps these messages alive. If you feel called to strengthen this mission, the link is in the pinned comment. And every contribution, however small, carries its own kind of love. In the specific, practical, This is what today looks like in my actual life terms. The Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer conjunction delivers across every area of life where love and abundance intersect. And they intersect in more areas than the romantic one. In love and intimate connection, what was almost there becomes fully present today. The person whose intentions were almost clear now becomes unmistakably clear. The relationship that was almost ready to take its next step is ready. The connection that has been building in the energetic dimension finds its physical, tangible, this is actually happening form. If there is a person who has been in the almost here position in your life, who has been real and felt and approaching but not yet fully arrived, today is the arrival. And under Cancer's influence, the arrival comes with depth rather than just with the excitement of newness. In abundance and material reality, what has been building behind the scenes arrives in visible form. The financial movement, the career development, the creative opportunity, whatever has been assembling its pieces in the preparation zone during the extraordinary arc of the last several months, finds its visible expression today, not as a promise, as something you can see and point to and respond to practically. Jupiter in Cancer brings abundance in the form of enough. Not the thrilling but insufficient abundance of too much too briefly, but the sustaining, this covers what matters, genuinely improves the quality of daily life abundance of something real. In emotional life, what has been longed for in the deep and private interior of what you want but have been careful about saying out loud, that becomes something that can be felt and held rather than just desired. The emotional fulfillment that has been approaching, that the retrograde was clearing the space for, and the karmic accounting was preparing the delivery of, it arrives today in the specific, Cancer warm, Jupiter expanded form of more than you allowed yourself to expect. You will receive something today that is larger than what you asked for, warmer than what you planned for, and more genuinely aligned with what you actually needed than what you were capable of specifically requesting. In your creative and expressive life, Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer is a portal for the specific kind of creative work that comes from genuine feeling rather than from strategy. The art that has been waiting to be made. The expression that has been building behind the careful management of not yet ready. Today that expression finds its form, and under Jupiter's expansion it finds it at a scale larger than what ordinary creative days produce. Full receptivity today is not a complicated practice. It does not require ritual or ceremony or the performance of gratitude in a form you do not genuinely feel. It requires one thing, allowing what arrives to be as large as it actually is. The specific risk on a day of this magnitude is the risk of the familiar, the reflexive scaling down of hope that has been trained into you by the long season of almost but not quite. The managed expectation that kept you functional through the retrograde period and the waiting period and the holding on period. That management was appropriate then. It is not appropriate today. Today the management is the only thing standing between you and receiving what was always meant for you at the size it was always meant to arrive. Allow it to be large. When something arrives today that carries more than its surface suggests, when a message or a conversation or a circumstance produces in you the specific quality of something settling into its right place, do not immediately reach for the careful analysis of whether it is really as significant as it feels. Let it be significant. Let it be exactly as large as the feeling says it is. Let the Cancer quality of it, that this belongs here, this is home, this is what I was waiting for quality, register fully before the protective editing begins. The universe is not being vague today. It is being specific, generous, and direct. It is delivering to you, specifically, personally, in the particular form that your particular life and your particular needs and your particular readiness made possible, the most generous gift it has available this year. The only question is whether you will receive it at full size, or whether the trained smallness of a long season of careful hoping will intercept the delivery before it lands. Receive it at full size. You have earned it at full size. And what is arriving today was made at full size, made specifically for the version of you that all of this extraordinary preparation produced. Today the universe gives its greatest gift of the year. Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, the most favorable alignment for love and abundance in the entire calendar, is active right now, in the specific hours you are living inside. You did not miss it. You are not too late. You have not arrived at this extraordinary cosmic event in the wrong state or the wrong readiness or the wrong version of yourself. You are here, exactly as you were always going to be here, prepared, real, fully formed by everything you have been through, and positioned to receive what this day delivers with the specific, earned, nobody can take this from you quality of someone who arrived at their own abundance through the honest work of their own becoming. Open your hands. Not as a gesture, as the actual full body. This is real, and I am ready to receive posture of someone who understands what today is and is genuinely available for everything it is delivering. What is arriving today was made for you. It is larger than you were expecting. It is warmer than you allowed yourself to prepare for. It has roots, Cancer roots, Jupiter expanded roots, that mean it is not arriving to visit. It is arriving to stay. This is the day, the most generous cosmic event of the year, the one you have been building toward through everything the last season asked of you. Receive it fully, celebrate it genuinely, and know that what is arriving in your life today, in love, in abundance, in emotional fulfillment, in the specific Cancer warm, Jupiter large form of what was always meant to be yours, is the universe's answer to everything you have been and everything you have done. You are exactly on time. Open your hands. Here it comes. If this message found you at the right moment, and I believe it did, consider sharing it with someone who needs to hear it today. And if you feel moved to support this work, the link is in the description. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the work. This mission continues because of you.